the SABC's financial position forced the hand of the interim board to virtually assume executive functions in 2017. Listen to this. Projects that were brainstormed overnight were practically funded within hours. That's how deeply entrenched corruption had become at the public broadcaster. This is according to the former interim board member, Mathatha Tsedu, who named Hlaudi Motsoeneng as part of the enablers of corruption at that institution. Well, the former SABC COO Hlaudi Motsoeneng has demanded a right of reply. He joins me in studio now. Mr. Motsoeneng, good morning to you, and thank you for your time. Looking well rested. What problems do you have about what Mr. Mathatha Tsedu said to us yesterday?
Look, Xoli, the problem that I have is your media. I'm not supposed to come to you to say I need a right to reply. It is a given. If someone come and make allegations,
right,
you must call me so that I can respond. I should not call you. I called you yesterday.
Right.
But what is more important here, Xoli, is Mathatha is a liar. Firstly, my PA has never been in charge for procurement. You allow someone to come and lie. It is a lie. Tobile Khumalo has never been in procurement division, never at all. And that division was not my division. It was CFO division.
And so, who was the person who ran the supply chain management committee then, to your knowledge?
No, there were different managers in that division, so I can't mention any person, but there were few who were running that division. But that division report under CFO, it has nothing to do with me.
And so when Mr. Tsedu talks about how the supply chain management committee was effectively run by someone who essentially would have been close to you, or at least may have been known to you. Yes, perhaps in your version, this person was never your PA, but did you bring her to a particular, or did you bring her from a particular division in order to take her to supply chain so that she can make things happen?
No, look, I'm here to respond on what Mathatha said.
Yes.
Don't interpret what Mathatha said, because it is clear. Mathatha said my PA was running procurement. I deploy him to run the procurement. I'm saying to you, it is a lie. And to show it is a lie, I have already instructed my attorneys to demand the apology from Mathatha for lying, because he should mention who is this PA. I don't have PA who went and ran a procurement division. It is a pure lie.
Okay.
I have already instructed Buan Jones. Yesterday, before he went to bed, Mathatha, I served him with a letter of demands.
Okay. Let's talk about...
Because, you know, we should not allow the narrative that Mathatha has been championing, and other people and media, especially about me. You see, at the SABC, because you spoke about the financials, you know you have covered many stories at the SABC.
Right.
When I came at the SABC, you know how much SABC revenue was? You know.
You tell me.
But you must do research, Xoli. You know, I have a problem when people do interview with me, they don't have facts and evidence. But let me tell you, because you want me to tell you.
Right.
When I arrived at the SABC was around 4 billion revenue, and it was under government guarantee. What it means SABC went and borrowed money from Nedbank. Government, they came in as standby. If the SABC can't pay that loan, the government will pay the loan.
Right.
When I came, I spoke to the board. I came with a plan and strategy. I said, firstly, let us pay this government guaranteed. I championed to paid government guaranteed.
And that 4 billion was paid in full by the time you left the position?
Yes. And I say 45 million. You know, this is in my head. I don't read it. I know what happened at the SABC. From 4 billion revenue, I took SABC to 8 billion revenue. Who can do that? It's only Hlaudi, no one else. That's why it is a mess. But you allow a man who come here and said, no, SABC, we had to deal with operational matters. He was not fit. He said this yesterday himself,
Mr.
that
Motsoeneng?
he was dealing with operational matters. How can board members deal with operation matters?
All right.
But
Mr.
I can say SABC, during my time, financially sustainable. And I'm not saying this. The records of the SABC, you must go and read the records. Check from here are the records.
So how
you can check it.
How
yourself.
is it possible then?
Yes.
That when you left the SABC in a perfectly healthy financial situation, how is it that they went and begged for a bailout from government, and for them to be given that, they had to present a turnaround plan? And this is hot on the heels of your departure. How's that possible? Who plundered the money?
Xoli, look, check when I left the SABC. The money was there. I have given you evidence. Evidence is in front of you. Read what the numbers are saying.
I'm saying to you, what you're presenting to me here could be anything. But what we know...
No, I'm not presenting is the record of the SABC.
What we know in reality is that by the time you left the SABC, that institution was financially on its knees. Let's perhaps pick one example, okay, of what is said to have been problematic. The Gupta breakfast. To your knowledge, how much did the SABC make from those in financial terms?
Why are you pushing this?
No, Mr. Motsoeneng.
No.
It's either you answer the question.
No, I'm coming.
I allowed you to make all manner of accusations against me, but I'm now putting a question to you. And I'm saying you were there when the SABC had Gupta breakfast. Did the SABC make any money out of those?
Yes, it did.
How much?
I can't tell you. I don't have those figures.
You here presenting financial records.
No. You don't understand financials. You see, exactly that is the problem of journalists.
Answer the question.
No. I'm saying you don't understand the financials.
The question.
Read the financials of the SABC. I have given you.
The question to you is that did the SABC make any money out of the Gupta breakfast?
Yes. Look, how? Remember, SABC is regulated. News is regulated. Remember, the issue that you are referring to, you are talking about news.
Right.
News is regulated. The only money that you can make is adverts. There were many adverts during that breakfast. And that breakfast, it was not a TNA breakfast. It was SABC breakfast and TNA with partnership. But also I want to say it has nothing to do with Hlaudi. Because when I came, that TNA relationship with SABC, it was there. I'm not the person who championed that TNA breakfast with the SABC. As
when Mr. Tsedu
people
says,
have been portraying that.
So when Mr. Tsedu says 150 million rand was made per year by the Guptas, and the SABC absolutely had nothing to gain from that.
He's a liar. I told you, the man is lying. Have you seen what he's saying? Do you have document? Do you have proof, or you are just taking what people are saying?
So let me say this to you. If Mr. Tsedu is a liar, how is it that he is not being chased to pay back monies that were undeserved, that were earned by yourself at the SABC? He's not being chased. You're being chased for monies that were paid to you
by who?
undeservedly.
By who? By who?
By the SABC.
So if
who was running the show?
No.
Who was running the show? Could people tell you to say, I'm not going to pay you that money? What do you think would have happened to those people?
Who was running the show?
Let me tell you. Let me do this.
No. Tell me what you know. Who was running the show?
I'm going to tell you in this fashion who was running the show. And I was not part of the interim board, but I'm going to give us the opportunity to listen to this soundbite, because that is who, in their understanding, was running the show, because they came in and they saw corruption, naked corruption. So let's have a listen, you and I.
He would take Dr. Ngubane as the chairman of the board to a meeting with President Zuma in Pretoria. And they get there, and Dr. Ngubane would be left in the ante room. Hlaudi goes in, he has his yap with President Zuma. He comes out, he says, no, we can go now. So when they came here at MultiChoice to discuss that contract with MultiChoice, he came with a team. So if you look at the composition of the delegation, Hlaudi didn't go there alone. But once they get to MultiChoice, everybody else remains in the ante room, and he goes in, he comes out, he says, we can go now. And he gets back to the SABC, he says to the head of legal, a document is going to come, the contract is going to come from MultiChoice. So MultiChoice even gets to draft its own contract with the SABC, and you must make sure that everything moves. And the guy did, you know. So he was it.
Not my words.
Which words do you believe? Between me and Mathatha.
I'm saying to you, are you saying to me, the people that paid the monies over to you, could they say no when Mr. Tsedu says, I was the person who was heading up the committee that decided which accounts to pay, which to rob for the time being, just so the financial situation of this institution is not basically plunged? I'm saying to you, could people say no to you at that time?
Look, anyone can say no to me. Anyone. But I'm saying to you, you are pushing this narrative.
I'm not pushing a narrative.
No, listen.
Stop with that. No. Please stop with that kind of language.
You are pushing the narrative.
No, please. This is not a political debate, Mr. Motsoeneng. This is about accountability.
No, accountability, I can't allow you to push the wrong narrative that you are pushing, because your interview is on the side of Mathatha Tsedu, because he's your hero. He's not my hero. He's your hero. Your media, I know all of you. These people who control the narrative, this wrong narrative that you are controlling. Just listen to me. Mathatha Tsedu must prove what he's saying. Firstly, the money that you are talking about, I don't know, you must mention, because you are just talking about the haphazard. Which money are you talking about?
I'm talking about the 18 million rand that is now accumulated in interest. 18 million rand.
You know where that money is coming from.
Wait, hold on. You've asked me to give you the amounts I'm talking about, isn't it? So I'm saying to you, 18 million rand is what you are being chased for. Tell me I'm wrong.
You are wrong. You know where's that money coming from.
Oh, so you know about the 18 million?
I know about money.
So you tell me then. Why are you being chased for 18 million?
Don't come here and lie and give this narrative.
Yeah.
Because I'm here to correct this narrative that you are talking about.
Is 18 million rand being demanded of you, sir?
Yes.
What's the problem?
No, let me tell you. Let me tell you. Listen, don't push the narrative, and I'm not going to allow you to do that.
Do that.
The issue of money, I was paid money by the SABC. The money that myself I raised is not money from the SABC. Is not money from the SABC. I raised more than 1 billion for SABC. You know, my legacy is that channel of 404. The SABC decided to reward me, to give me money from the money that I raised from the
What were you being rewarded for?
The MultiChoice.
What were you being rewarded for?
They were recognizing my good work that I have done for SABC outside of my contract of employment. Because that channel is not part of my contract of employment. It is my innovation outside SABC. That's why it is sitting in that multi-choice bouquet.
And so why would people demand that you pay back that money?
Go and ask them. That's why I'm in court. So with them. That's why the court has given me an opportunity to go and argue the matter in court.
And I'm hoping that once that matter is concluded, because we are a fair institution, that's why you're sitting here today. No, we had to give you a right of reply. So here's my final question to you. When you look back at your role at the SABC, specifically the Chief Operations Officer role, do you believe that you truly earned that position, or you were simply, as Mr. Tsedu puts it, an enabler of corruption? When you look back at your situation now, you're the one who's being chased to pay back 18 million rand.
Is corruption what SABC is chasing, or SIU is not corruption? It's the money that was paid by SABC to me. There is no corruption. Let me tell you, Xoli. Because you take all these people, what they are saying, pushing this narrative. But let me give you my narrative now. Here's my narrative. The SIU and the SABC opened a fraud case. The NPA refused to prosecute because there is no fraud, there is no corruption. You know what they gave me? This is what they call nole. You know nole. This is called nole, which means there is no fraud, there is no corruption. And this case is the one that Mathatha Tsedu spoke about, the 100,000. They opened a case and the NPA refused to prosecute it because these people, they have been tarnishing our name. Right. It is not the only case. They went and said, I sold archives to multi-choice. The NPA also refused to deal with the matter because there is nothing like that.
Okay, so here's how I'm going to conclude the conversation. Once the Supreme Court of Appeal, which has previously kicked you out and said there's no appeal because there are no prospects here. So they've now given you an opportunity to once again make representations for why you are appealing the 18 million that's being demanded of you. Once that has concluded, let's agree, you and I, that you're going to come back here and we put this matter to bed because you are obviously being accused unfairly.
Now
is that an agreement?
Now we are talking.
Is that an agreement?
You see, this is what I call balanced views. Now we are talking, Xoli.
No,
it's fine. Let's go. I agree.
Don't celebrate yet. Okay, all right.
No. I'm not celebrating. I will never celebrate.
Yes.
I will celebrate after I become the president of South Africa. I have transformed South Africa. That I can celebrate if people of South Africa choose me.
Unfortunately, what you're not going to do is campaign here. That's not the platform for you. You're going to have to go to the voters if you want to become president of South Africa.
I have already campaigned. I have already said what I want to say. So it doesn't matter what you are saying. I have already said to people, my message is there.
Mr. Motsoeneng, thank you very much for your time.
Xoli, thank you very much, my brother. But please try to balance the stories. All media, I'm not talking about you as individual.
Absolutely. And that's what we strive to do here. Thank you for your time once again.